Want to save thousands the next time you renew your home mortgage? We're about to tell you how. We'll also show you how smart choices can get you the home appliances you need for less. And later, the 5 of Us Smart Cookies will help you make sure you don't waste money when trying out a new hobby. We'll show you how to try new activities for next to nothing. Plus, if you've succumbed and bought something from a TV infomercial, we'll find out if those money-back guarantees deliver on what they say in our Cookie Crusade. Most of us have had one of those moments when you're watching TV and all of a sudden you see an infomercial for a product that seems like the latest and greatest thing. Before you know it, you're on the phone and ordering it, assuming you can always get your money back if need be.
Hi there, I was just watching your product's infomercial and I'm interested in ordering it.
But just how good are those money-back guarantees? Sandra and Robin are on a crusade to find out. We ordered an exercise machine, some facial products, and some multi-purpose putty.
We've tried each of them, and now we're packing them up to see if we really can get 100% of our money back.
We paid shipping and handling fees when we ordered these items. Now we're paying again to return them. We'll see whether we're reimbursed for any of those charges as well as the price of the product. And we'll speak to a consumer expert who says when it comes to TV shopping, it's buyer beware.
When you're buying something from an infomercial, you're really trusting that you're going to get what you think you're getting.
We'll tell you how to protect yourself a little later on. What's the most common mistake people make when it's time to renew their mortgage? Over 70% don't bother shopping around for the best deal. As a result, they miss out on thousands of dollars in potential savings. Your financial situation or the economy may have changed since you negotiated your first mortgage, so blindly renewing is really not your best option. To get the inside track on how to save, Angela and Katie are talking to Peter Aceto, President and CEO of ING Direct.
So I'm going in to renew my mortgage. Tell me some of the things I should be armed with when I'm going up for renewal.
Obviously, your first priority is to try and get the best rate you possibly can. The lower your rate, the better, and there's no better way to save your money than by paying less on your mortgage.
The government determines the base lending rate, but financial institutions add percentage points on top of that, so there's room for negotiation. And you can usually beat their posted rate, or the one quoted in your renewal notice, by as much as 1%, if you're prepared to ask or look elsewhere.
The second thing is having the flexibility to increase your mortgage payment or to pay a lump sum down.
If you can afford to pay more than the lender requires, either monthly or whenever you have extra cash, you'll reduce your principal more quickly and save.
I'd say the third thing is when you renew your mortgage, you should ask about fees. Many lenders incent you to stay by charging you fees if you leave, as opposed to just giving you the best deal they possibly can to get you to stay.
Over 85% of homeowners stay with their existing lender to avoid paying fees, usually a couple of hundred in administration fees to the lender, but it could also cost $1,000 or more for legal or appraisal fees. But sometimes another lender will pay for all or at least part of those fees in order to get your business. If they don't offer, just ask. And if negotiating isn't your thing, then have a licensed mortgage broker do it for you. They get paid by the lender, so there's no cost to you. The other major consideration is deciding between a fixed rate or a variable rate mortgage. Fixed means the interest rate remains the same for the length of your term, so your payments never change. Variable means your payments vary with each shift to the lender's rate.
If you look at a 10-year period of time, that usually the variable rate mortgage ends up over a longer period of time being the better deal because you're not paying for the certainty of your rate not changing. But that's also not for everybody.
Neither is paying a monthly rate that fluctuates. When interest rates dip, you benefit, but what about when they increase? If interest rates start to climb, variable rate mortgages usually come with an option to lock in. Make sure to ask for all the details up front because that rate could end up being higher than if you locked in from the get-go. And there are even more ways to save, whether you are renewing or taking out your first mortgage. Sally bought her townhouse almost 5 years ago and her mortgage is up for renewal in a few months.
My hope is to retire at age 55, not have any debt, have property. And in order to do that, I need to pay off my mortgage.
We're here to show her that reaching that goal is easier than she thinks.
And how much do you have left in your mortgage?
I have about $110,000 or so.
Sally's current monthly mortgage payment is $675 at an already fantastic rate of 4%. Over a 5-year term, she'll shell out $40,000, but $28,000 of that will be interest payments, while her principal is only reduced by $12,000.
Really?
How do you feel about that?
I don't like that.
No.
Sally should look for a mortgage with the flexibility to raise her monthly payments at her discretion.
Could you be paying a little bit more every month?
I could, probably closer to $800.
One of the best ways to pay down your mortgage quicker is to go to bi-weekly payments as opposed to monthly. If you could pay $800 every month, then you essentially, when you're paying bi-weekly, you're paying $400 every 2 weeks. The way the calendar year works is that you'll have made an additional 2 payments over the course of a year.
By increasing her monthly payments by just $125 and paying on a bi-weekly basis, in the same 5 years, Sally will have gone from paying $40,000 to $51,500 onto her mortgage, saved $4,500 interest, and put an extra $11,500 directly onto her principal.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You're going to go from a 25-year mortgage down to a 15-year mortgage. So you're actually going to get out of your mortgage 10 years early.
Then over the entire course of your loan, you'll save over $45,000 in interest.
$45,000? The fact that they gave me this information, I feel a lot more knowledgeable. I feel like I'm on a better track.
If you're locked in to a long-term fixed-rate mortgage and interest rates drop more than 2%, that's when you want to consider renegotiating.
But your lender will charge you a penalty to get out of your mortgage early, which could add up to 3 months of interest and often even more.
The penalty is only worth it if you can save an interest over the course of your mortgage. And if your lender allows it, ask for a lump sum payment. That will reduce the amount that the penalty is calculated on.
Another option is to find out if your lender will extend the length of your mortgage prior to the renewal due date to take advantage of the low rates. But not all institutions will offer this blend and extend option. Still to come, Sandra and Robin are on a crusade to see if TV infomercial money-back guarantees are the real thing.
Shouldn't someone have been upfront with that information beforehand?
And we're all competing to see whose new hobby costs the least in our cookie challenge. And later, we'll reveal the best-kept secrets on household appliances. For instance, do you know how doing laundry can save you cash? That's coming up after the break. How can doing laundry save you cash? Save $20 to $50 per year if you wash and rinse clothes in cold water, run the dryer full, and clean the lint filter after every load. We bought some multi-purpose putty, facial products, and an exercise machine from infomercials. Then we returned them. Now we're on a crusade to make sure we get all our money, just like the guarantees promise. But ordering something from a TV offer is not the same as buying it from a retail store, says this consumer advocate.
Totally different shopping experience, and I think most of us are really comfortable going to a store. We can actually see an item, and what we don't realize is that we're actually inspecting it.
But when you buy from an infomercial, you just have to trust that you'll get what you ordered and that they'll stand behind their money-back guarantees.
So what are the details you need to know as a consumer about those?
Well, the most important thing to know is to get those details before you buy it. It's really important that you follow those terms very, very clearly, because if you're a day late or you do the wrong thing, the company may not honor that return.
Usually you'll have either 30 or 60 days for returns, but read your receipt carefully. Return periods usually start the day you ordered, not the day you received your item.
If we did want to return something, are we responsible for the shipping costs?
You may be, and so that's a really good question that a consumer should ask before they make the purchase.
Later in the show, additional charges you may suddenly discover on your credit card bill.
But then there's another charge right there, $15.70.
Find out what those could be. Appliances are modern conveniences we've all come to depend on, like helping hands all over the house. Which is why replacing them can be a huge investment and having them break down a real annoyance.
We've had the stove for about 20 to 25 years. We brought it from the old house to our new house here.
And it has certainly seen better days, and Mom Shirley has had enough.
I am so sick of this stove. I really would like one that works properly.
With 4 kids, this family's appliances get a workout, especially the fridge and stove. Dad, Alan, can take credit for the fact they've lasted this long.
He kept reviving it every time. It wouldn't just die.
So Angela and Katie have arrived to help them get cooking in comfort.
So how much are you spending on repairs?
$300-400. Recently was the 200 one.
Time to pull the plug. Angela heads out shopping with Alan and Shirley, and Katie enrolls in Appliances 101 with a man who knows the machines from the inside out.
So at what point is it better to forego the repairs and just buy a new appliance?
Typically in the industry, they say when the repair cost can be 50% of the replacement value of an appliance, you should replace it.
And if you can, shop when most stores are making room for new inventory. That's the autumn for cooking appliances. The spring is when you'll get the best deals on fridges.
One way to get a great deal on brand name appliances is if you purchase 2 or more at the same time. Usually doing that, you have some negotiating room. Just make sure that they're both good quality and you're not just purchasing them together to get the discount.
And decide on your budget before you get to the store, so you avoid the temptation to buy into costly extras.
The most expensive feature is the color. Basic stove, you can get a white stove for $400. In stainless steel, you'll double the cost.
But since many people want stainless steel, it could increase the value of your home if you're planning to sell. And although a lot of people are going for bottom freezers now, those models can cost double what a top freezer model will. Glass shelves will also add to the cost of the appliance. And here's how you can save even more.
Get one that's scratch and dent, you can get about 30% less. Most of the time, the scratch is just on the side, or a lot of times the box was scratched and the item is not. You still get the full manufacturer's warranty.
You can cut down on your electricity costs by choosing energy-efficient appliances, or by actually spending a little more on a gas appliance. You can save in the long run.
And how will it save you money?
Because they're more efficient. Gas is cheaper. Gas, you'll use less to heat the same amount of food than you will with electricity.
And gas stoves tend to last longer than electric stoves. Whichever kind you choose, make sure to ask about the cost of delivery and installation, and see if you can get it included in the price. Our research has come up with good news for Alan and Shirley. They can buy a white fridge with all the features they'll need for about $800, or go for the stainless for about $1,100. Whichever you choose, make sure to ask about the cost of delivery and installation, and see if you can get it included in the price.
It is not the exclusive brand name that you wanted. We're talking almost $8,000 for the high end, where you can come in with fairly similar features, around $2,400, $2,600.
Total cost for the 2 quality kitchen appliances, $3,700.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
A typical warranty on appliances is only 1 year for parts and labor, but we still recommend you skip the extended warranty the store may try to sell you. More often than not, the appliances tend to break down after they expire. You can save on appliances if you think carefully about what features you really need, because choosing a great appliance is a lot like making a great meal. It requires time and patience.
Some important things we can do to get our stove within a year probably, and how to go shopping for it.
Buying an appliance can be expensive. So to avoid paying the entire investment up front, you may want to consider financing, but you want to make sure that you clean up on that deal.
Many stores offer interest-free financing, which allows you to put off purchasing your new appliance for a few months or more.
But don't get hung out to dry. If you haven't paid off the entire amount before the financing term is over, you're going to be stuck paying interest from the moment you made the purchase.
A great way to avoid this is put your money in a high-interest savings account every month. When the time is up, you'll have put enough away to pay off the bill in full, plus you'll pocket the interest. Coming up, the hunt is on for the least expensive hobby in our cookie challenge. And will Sandra and Robin get the full refund they're hoping for in our cookie crusade?
No refund. It's been 3 weeks since we sent that back.
Or has ordering from TV gotten the better of them? Plus, do you know how much your electronic devices are costing even when they're off? Find out after the break. How much are your electronic devices costing you when they're off? You're paying an extra $20 to $50 per year just for leaving your computer, TV, and DVD player plugged in when they're not in use. It can happen to the best of us, falling for an infomercial. So we're on a crusade to find out whether there's any truth to those promised money-back guarantees. We've already shipped our 3 TV offer purchases back. Now we're watching for a refund.
So let's just look at the credit card statement. We did get the full refund for the putty.
However, they didn't refund the shipping and handling of $15, and then we paid another $12 to return it. So we've paid $28 for nothing, more than half the cost of the item itself. And what about our other 2 returns?
The exercise equipment looks like we were charged and then it was reversed.
But then there's another charge right there, $15.70.
So what would that charge be for?
No idea. We'll have to call.
I was refunded most of the money except for the $15.70. So I was just wondering why that was.
That's the 3-month trial that you agreed to.
I wasn't under the impression that I was paying for a 30-day trial offer. Where is that information when I make the order?
When you place the order, whatever questions you ask them, that's the answers they gave to you.
Well, how would I have known to ask that question? Shouldn't someone have been upfront with that information beforehand? I'd really like to have that money credited back. I feel like that's not a fair policy to me as a consumer.
Okay, just look to my supervisor. We're just going to do the credit just one time.
Okay, I appreciate that. Done.
Good job.
Yes.
Now for the facial products.
No refund, and it's been 3 weeks since we sent that back.
There we go.
So we need to find out where that money is. I believe I'm going to be credited for the amount of the product, but I wanted to know if I could also get the shipping and handling back as well.
What I will do today is make sure that the shipping portion of that is refunded within this next week.
Now, what about my shipping to send the product back? Can I be reimbursed for that as well?
The only way we could do an exception of that sort is through our billing department. I can give you the fax number.
It was another month after our phone call until they refunded the cost of the product, even though they returned the initial shipping right away. As for the charge for us to return the products, it's now been 3 months and still nothing. Bottom line, if you order and return something from TV, you could be waiting, and you may have to push, but you will get your refund. Even the shipping costs in some cases.
Good job.
Done. Up next, find out which of our hobbies delivers the biggest fun at the smallest cost. And do you know how much money a new appliance can save you? That's next. How much money can a new appliance save you? If you buy an Energy Star rated appliance, it can save you $300 or more in electricity costs over its lifetime. If you're looking to find the perfect hobby, you'll want to test the waters without spending a lot of money. So the 5 of us are competing to find the most inexpensive options for fun-filled activities.
Good job, good job. We're not very graceful, are we?
No.
Katie hopes to skate through this one at the rink. Robin looks to music for a little inspiration. Sandra prepares to putter around with pottery. Angela heads to a dance studio to find her feet. And Andrea gets ready to cook up what she hopes will be the winner. Cooking classes can be pricey. Look for group rates. This place offers a 3-for-2 rate. Grab 2 friends, you get 3 hours for just $33 each. You'll brush up your skills, get to try new recipes, and taste dishes that would be pricey in a restaurant. If cooking isn't your cup of tea, you can dance up a storm for next to nothing.
Some dance clubs offer special weekly events where anyone can come and learn dances like the swing or salsa. For just $5, you can take a beginner lesson before dancing the night away.
Compare that to having to commit to weeks' worth of dance lessons at the cost of $15 to $20 an hour. Back at the rink, Katie is gliding through her assignment.
How do you save money when your child wants to play hockey? Equipment can cost up to $600, and who knows if your child is going to stick with it. So head to your local arena, rent skates and helmets. It's not that expensive, and by the time your kid falls in love with the game, you'll have saved hundreds of dollars.
To try out other sports that interest you or your kids, check online for public drop-in nights. And if you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, does Sandra have a hobby for you?
Some pottery studios will offer drop-in courses if you want to give it a whirl without committing to the full course, which can cost you $150 to $225. But a 2-hour drop-in course will only cost you about $12 plus the price of your clay.
Meanwhile, Robin has her hands full with an art of a different sort.
We rented this guitar for about $15 a month, but check with your music store to see if they might lend you one for free for your first lesson.
Time to find out who discovered their passion at the best price. Robin's guitar lesson cost her $35. Andrea's cooking class cost her $33. Sandra's pottery class was $22. Angela's salsa class was just $5, and skating for Katie was also a mere $5.
So it looks like the physical activities won out, skating and dancing.
But it's a tie, so how do we declare the winner?
I think we need to skate and dance off.